road layers here categorized as expressway, major road, minor road, and footpath. Okay, this is FCT, the Federal Capital Territory of the great Nigeria country. All right, so here I'm just going to show you basics, so that's why I am standing on this kind of place. So there are a few rules to digitizing road. So let's go to our edit, and we're going to pick up our create future tools, right? And we're going to pick expressway. So I'm not going to digitize the entire expressway, but then it depends on your choice whether you want this road to be a double lane road or not. If you want it to be a double lane road, that is on your digitizing to represent as the way it is on ground. So that means you have to follow the center of this one, then you come back and follow the center of this one. All right, so let's start from here. Um, so you'll be careful to create a node along the center. So majorly why I digitize, I don't move at speed. So I go gently so that I don't have to come repeat it again. But then if you zoom it well, we are not using an external satellite imagery. So we're using the one that is on ArcGIS Pro. You can actually bring in yours and use. All right, so you can use yours and you can use the one that has been provided. Okay, so let's end this one here. Then we pick this one. Now let's make it to go on the same direction by coming back to here and digitize. The reason is I just want them to have the same flow of direction. Okay, so another reason I'll advise you use your satellite image because of these things you see. You have to zoom up, zoom down, um depending on your speed, internet speed. Okay, so right, so you see it's just blocking things. So that's why you just have to just bring your satellite imagery and use. All right, so I'm just going to follow this. Now I am not saying the road has ended. No, I'm only ending it because I'm only showing you how to do that. All right, so now next, let's come down here and do the same here, but then I will explain. So let's start from here. Now here, for me to know that this road is a flyover because the road is over. Now for me to tell the uh, machine that this road is not just the same road, it's a flyover. So since it's a flyover, I won't be creating a node here. But if it is not, you have to create a node before passing. Now for it to know that it is not a flyover, you will not create a node, you just pass. So let's end it here. Let's go back. Let's start. You see, I'm not also creating a node here. Okay, let's take it slow. I want to explain this so that you understand. You can read up on all of this, but then I'm just showing you the practical example. So I'm not still going to create a node between this one that goes like this. So you see, it's asking me to do that, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just pass. Now that on analysis, when maybe you're using network analysis and the rest, it's going to let the ArcGIS know that yeah, you are not, that it's a flyover, there is a road over it. So let's say I'm going to digitize from here to that side. I'll also not create a node because there is another road there. Okay, so now the next rule. Let's find a place where we could exercise that other rule. Now let's say I'm digitizing this road. It's a double lane road, but I'm only going to digitize it once. Now this is a junction, right? I have ended it. Now while I am digitizing this one, coming down, I have to create a note with this before I continue. So that's the reason, to do this bestly, you have to digitize this one first before you bring this one to come and create a note with. So you have to sort out, the way I normally do mine, I sort out all the major roads. I study the area and understand where all the major road pass. Then I digitize all the major road. Then I now come to the minor road. So when I'm coming to the minor road, like I only add them, like now I'll create a node from here, then digitize this. Now all road must have a node. So joining them together, so this one goes back on the main road, but I'm not going to take it here because this thing is blocking my view. So continuously, that's how you will join all the road. Like this one now, start from here and just follow suit. That's why you need your snapping tool to be on. Then I can go from here because I've created a node. I can go from here and you can right click in case there's a mistake and you delete vertex. Okay, so I will just take it like this. Same thing here. Yeah, but this time around I'm taking this one down. They're supposed to meet, so okay, it's asking for vertex. Good. Okay, so now, okay, I've just joined all of them together, just trying to demonstrate. Okay, so now when you want to digitize other parts of the road, you just pick from here. Just pick. Anyone you pick will start allow you to digitize. So I've only make mistake and put everything inside expressway because I was just trying to illustrate how you can digitize at the same time, also illustrate those little details you need to add to it. So you try to snap on the spot of the road so that you don't have to come and make adjustment, creating a topology. I did this, I did that. So you just have to make sure you zoom it to where your eye can see well. That's why it's preferable, I say again, you bring in your satellite imagery. So if you zoom it in like this, you should be able to follow the center of this road gradually, and digitize. So you are going to have what you want at the end of the day. So you just follow it gradually. Okay, so basically you can practice this consistently as possible until you're good. So this is the little I'm going to share about digitizing the road. So you just have to know these few rules. All road must the nodes must be created. Road are like, okay, I'm going to use an example for, I'm in Zaria right now. So we have Sokoto Road. Now the road leading from um PZ down to Sokoto, Katsina, Sokoto, and the rest. Now, it's a one-way road. We have other sub-roads joining to it, like the one going to Graceland, the one going to the one coming from Kaduna to Kano is an overhead. That's a flyover, just like I have demonstrated here. Okay, so this you must not create a node between them. It shows that there is a route underground and there is a route over. That's what this implies. Now, when treating the underground road or underpass, all road that joins those underpass, like this one coming from here to here, you must create a node. So I'm going to create a node. Now, this one has three ways, so we have to digitize the third one for us to be able to add the underpass. So uh, I end it here. Now, for me to create this one, I have to create the node because they are all underpass. So I have to create a node before taking it that side. And this one is two ways, so I have to join them together. So this is what I mean by creating a node. Make sure the root from this end to this end are joined. You have to connect them. It has to be connected. That's what I mean. So same thing if you're doing here. This to this must be connected. This to this must be connected. Okay, so this is just a little tips I intend to share on this very tutorial. So I hope you've learned something, and I will see you in the next video where we'll be exploring how to digitize the river on ArcGIS Pro. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Still on digitizing, today we'll be looking at how to digitize water body and subsequently river. So water body most of the times or at all times consist of a polygon, and then rivers most of the times are just, we use line to represent them. Alright, so we have an example of a water body here, and this is inside Abuja. I think this is around the Jabi Lake or something. I'm not sure. Alright, so I'm going to come to, and then one thing you can also do on ArcGIS Pro, which you may not likely do on ArcGIS desktop, is that they've made a provision for topology here. So you could just enable topology, and you can also check the topology options to make any changes. So here is saying maintain features, contiguity when editing. So once you enable it, it helps you put you in check or something like that. Okay, so you click on the create future tools, and we're going to select water body here, and then it has said it's polygon. So we're going to just move and make selection along the river bank. So let's reduce it a bit so that I can move. Alright, so move. Now here there is a bridge that cross over the lake or this water body, but I'm still going to digitize. But then that rule still applies. When I am now digitizing that road, I will not um, create a node between them because it's a river. The bridge was built on it, so it has to be shown, and you have to make the machine know that this one though, na river and na bridge they make cars or humans pass on top. The machine has to understand it too. So I am done. So I'm going to click on attribute, and then it has a name, so I'm going to fill in the name. I'll just say Jabi Lake. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Jabi Lake. Alright, then I will come back to I'll come back to the yes. I'm just gonna come back to my water body. So I'm done with this. So now let's locate a river so that we could demonstrate that of a point. Okay, but first, after you're done with it, you come here and you save. You can also discard. So I can also check this so that I don't see it asking me a question anymore. So I'll just say yes. So once I say yes, it won't be asking me a question again. It will just, yeah, it will just go on. So we have river here. I'm going to click on river now, and then it's going to tell me it's a line though. So I'm going to now follow the river. You have to follow it from the beginning. So I'm not going to be digitizing all of it. I'll just be showing you this how you do it. So let's say it starts from here. You have to also know the flow of direction where the river flows from to, so that you don't just digitize anyhow. Okay, but I'm not looking at that direction because I'm not using a satellite imagery. I'm using the one that comes with, that's the base map from the A3 ArcGIS Pro. So because I need to zoom it so that it's clearer, it become clear, I don't want to make the video too long, so I'll just digitize. So you have to check for, oh, my battery. You have to check for where the flow goes from, and then you begin to digitize. So you see, I'll follow the river the way it goes. It's just basically clicking of lines. Okay, but then you have to master it by clicking the lines properly. Alright, before my battery off, I believe you've understand and you've gained something from here. So we'll bring this video to a wrap, and I will see you in the next video. But don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned with us. I personally love you, and there's nothing you're gonna do about that. Bye. And welcome back to our video tutorials. Last video we looked at how to round up in the digitizing session, how to digitize future point future, and on this video we're looking at how to edit attributes. So from the last video, just click save to save this work, and then we move to how to edit. Now basically, to edit, you right click on the hospital future and you go to the attribute table to just make some check-ins before we begin. Right click on the hospital attribute table. So on this, we know that we're going to be having all of this list, but this is a hospital. So it was a future class that was used, but then let's just fill it in. So you turn it into, it was a mistake, but then it's the same thing. You will turn it into a location or a place attribute when you're creating yours. So what we'll do now is we'll go to the attribute. Either you see it down here or you come up here and then you see attribute. So it's going to come here and then you're going to begin to fill. So once it has opened, you will click on select, then you make selection. You select on this point. Once you select, it's going to open. It's asking what's the name. So we have do Shekuru. We can say now FG get them since where type is still public, because it's a community, it's a public community. But that was not the initial intent. As I said, you will just use this in place of, yeah, you apply, always apply before you go to the next so that it can be applied. So the next one now we have Durumi, and then we have ownership is still FG, and then it's public. And then you click apply. If you don't want to always apply, you can click auto apply this here, so that once ever you move out of it, it will auto apply it. Okay, so now as I click here, now I'm gonna write the name. It's Fura, and then it's FG, still FG, and it's public. I'm just trying to edit an attribute. Alright, so this time around, once I leave there, it automatically saves. That's one of the use of this auto apply. So basically, this is how you follow through all your points and edit. Okay, so one of the mistakes I made was I digitized the point inside the hospital. So all you need to do when you're creating is that you create a point future for a place or location, so that you name all of these things inside, and what do you want as your non-spatial attribute, because the point you select is your spatial attribute, and the non-point, those things that describe this area, is what is known as non-spatial, just what describes it. The other one shows the geographical location, and the other one shows the things that describes this place. All right, so basically this is how far we're going to go. And always when you're done editing, you always click save before you proceed. Okay, so and this brings us to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. And welcome to class. This is Elite Geospatial. On today's training, we will be looking at how to export data on ArcGIS Pro. So I'll be citing 2 or 3 examples before the end of this video. Scenario whereby I have the administrative boundary of Taraba State here, and I just wanted to export maybe 1 or 2 local government out of the local government shapefile or future class here right now. So how do I do that? So to do that, you have to make a selection, and there are varieties of ways you can make selection in ArcGIS Pro or ArcGIS Desktop. So they are basically more of similar things. So to do that, as usual, you come to the LGA tab here under the content layer, and then you right click. You go to attribute table, and then on the attribute table, you make selection on whichever local government you want to uh, select and export. If I want to select multiple, I do like this. As I click one and drag down. So as I'm going down, it's going to make all the selections. All right, and then they are all going to be selected with their attributes. But in this instance, I'm only looking at, I want to select Takum, and I want to export Takum. That's on this example. So after you make the selection, you close the attribute, then you right click again on the attribute. This time around, you're coming down to data, and then on data, there are quite number of what you're going to use. Here you can be able to set the data source of this uh, data you've selected, this portion you've selected. You can actually set a data source for it. You can also rematch the address. You can export just the table as to Excel or any other software you can open on. And then what we're interested in right now is to export it as a future. So I'm going to hit the export future button, or so it's going to bring you back. Okay, the input future is LGA. So what do you want the output to look like? Are you going to add some fields to it? Do you want to sort it? That's what it's asking. If you want to add a field, okay, is it that when I mean field, I'm not saying you're going to add new one. You can actually add new source. What I'm talking about, like these fields that are already in the attribute currently, do you want to remove or add some? That's what it's saying. All right, so depending on what you want to do, but then we don't need to touch anything here, and we don't also need to do anything. So all you need to do is to select the output folder, or the location you want it to be. So here I'm still going to be in our folder, and then I can put it here, or I'll put it on the map. So let's basically, since it's the rubber state, I'm going to put it inside this new folder. So now it's saying all futures. That is any type I decide to save is going to be any type at all. It's going to both geodatabase, is going to be shapefile, anyone at all. So that's what it means by this future classes, all types. All right, and then it's not giving us any, so it means all types can be saved here. But unlike the ArcGIS desktop, it's either gonna be a geodatabase, or it has a restriction. You either save it as a geodatabase, or you're saving it as a shapefile or as coverage. But here is giving you the liberty. Any format you save it that is within the ArcGIS format, it's going to accept. So if I enter this default geodatabase, it's going to be saved. If I decide to save it on this portion, it's also going to be saved. But I want it to be in shapefile, so I'm just gonna name it Takum. So after naming it, I'm gonna hit the save button, and then it has accepted it. So I'm gonna hit the OK, then allow it to export the future. So if we close down the uh, this button, you are going to see that it's only going to be the Takum that is there. All right. So now we are done with the first example. So let me here bring this back and use another case study. So the second case study will be, so to do the second example, I will come back to the LGA here and right click and go to attribute. So while on the attribute, is showing plenty attribute already. So I'm going to uncheck anything because we make selection before of Takum. So I'm going to uncheck all of it. That is cleaning, and then I'm going to come to select by attribute, and then it's saying LGA, yeah, and then the expression now will be where. It's asking me where. I'm going to say it's geopolitical zones. All right, so this geopolitical zone, let me say it contains contains text. So now it's asking fill. I'm going to say fill. So let's see whether the expression is correct. Yes, it said the expression is valid. That is what I'm saying, is that the field I'm looking for contains geopolitical zone. That is, it's going to make selections of all the geopolitical zones. Now, it also asks me which of the geopolitical zones, because there are about three geopolitical zones. So you see, so the statement, let's use value and then go back to geopolitical zone. I'm saying, okay, it should select all the fields that has either Taraba South, Taraba North, or Taraba Central. So I'm interested in the Central. So I'm going to also check the expression. It also said the expression is valid. So let's apply and see. So it has selected out all the, okay, first, it has selected out all the local government with Central as geopolitical zones. So let's close it out, and then we can now right click here again and come down to data and export future, and then we do as before. We click and then we save it as Taraba underscore. You press shift and the dash, the normal dash on your keyboard. So you press shift and it become underscore Taraba Central. So all of this contains the data that are from Taraba Central. So okay. So it has selected out the local government that are within Taraba Central. So you can use select by attribute, and there are other selection by attribute you can also practice, which I'm going to explain intensively on the video I will title selection by attribute. So, but this is just for the purpose of this video to illustrate how you can export such data. So you can do it by other methods, by calculate, by any method, anything you've selected, you can actually uh, um, export it. So this is basically how you export data on ArcGIS. All right, stay tuned, and this brings us to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome to Elite Spatial. And in this class, we'll be looking at clipping data. So we have a scenario whereby we have a locality data up here of the entire Taraba state, and then we have a local government we want to clip this data to just be within. So this is the locality data. If we try to check on the attribute, all the names and all that things are included, but we only want this data within this geographic space. That's this administrative boundary here. So how do we do that? All right. To do that, that's the essence of this video. So let's get right into it. So you go to analysis type up tab up here, and then you click on the tools. So it's going to bring you on the geoprocessing tools. So what we need here, we'll search for the clip, and here there are varieties of clips which we'll be going through one by one, but then this is what we want. He said extract input feature that overlays the clip. So we're going to click on this, and then it's asking for the input. That's the data set we want to clip from, and then the clip file, which is what we want to clip is this locality data is over here. So I've imputed it. Then what we want to use, the extent to which we want it to be, is this vacuum, which is this place. All right. So in the output now, we're going to come to a location. As I've also said, ArcGIS Pro allows you now. You can see you can select all future, that is whether it is a shapefile, a coverage, or a geodatabase. So let's still put it here, and then we're going to select Takum underscore localities, and then we're going to save it. Then this time around, we're going to run it. We'll click run, and it's going to run, then to clip our data to that extent. So it has clipped. So let's remove the main locality and see. So it has been clipped to just this portion. So you can see that we are no longer seeing other part of it. So this is how to clip. But this clipping we just did is for vector layer, that is data that have already been digitized, because you can see that this point has been digitized, likewise the boundary. So it's not as if you bring in a paper map which is raster and you expect this same process to work. It's not going to work on that same process. So there is a process for it which I will treat in our coming videos. All right, so that's it for today, and I will see you in the next video where I will treat the batch clipping version of this. Don't go nowhere, and I'll see you in the next one. Welcome once again to Elijah Spatial, and we've been treating clipping tools. In the last video, we looked at this scenario whereby you have one feature and you want to clip. But this scenario we are having here is a different scenario. We have the locality data for the whole Nigeria. We have waterways as river. We have roads, networks. We have railways. We have the water body. We have buildings across the entire Nigeria, but we're only looking for this data for Taraba State. That's where the Taraba State administrative map boundary is up here. So how do we clip this data is the question. So that's the purpose of this video, and we'll get right into it without any further ado. All right, so you're going to come on the analysis and you click on the tools. Then you search for clip, which is already here, and then you have the clip right here on it. But this time around, you're going to right click, and then you're going to select batch. So the choose a batch parameter is that it is an input feature or a data set, not a clip feature, not a XY tolerance, but an input feature or a data set. Now, you have a choice here to make it either a temporary batch tool or you save it to an actual location. So the name is batch clip. You can actually edit it and write another one. Okay, so let's write elite on it. It's not a bad thing. And then the location is gonna be here, which we can also change if we want. So I click on it and then we are still inside it. So let's leave it at that location it has told us before. And now we're going to click next. So the next is asking us is the parameter. So it's asking for the batch input feature or data set. So we have the place, we have the waterways. Okay, sorry. So it's going to be the place, we have the waterways, we have the road layers, we have the railways, we have the water body, and finally we have the buildings. So these are all the features, giving you a box directly to put them in, and we've finished. So it's asking for the clip feature. The clip feature is just the state, and then it's asking, say, output feature data set. So we can decide to leave this like this for the purpose of let it save where it is going to give us the name, and it's going to save something like okay blah blah. But then let's leave it like this so that we don't cause much kasala for ourselves. So let's leave the name the way it has programmed it, and we're going to run it. This Amos one will take quite a number of time, so I will run it and come back after it has finished. And once you run it, just know that you have successfully done it. It's not asking for anything, so you just wait for it to finish running because it's a big data and you're going to clip it to adjust a location. So you see it's showing 0%. So I'm gonna wait. My battery is also low, but whatever it is, just know that it's successful as far as it's running like this. So you will see the result display here with the name it has assigned for you automatically. So you just wait and allow it to do its thing and get back to you. So it's jumping to 8% level. Oh, it's quite fast, but depend on the data you're attributing. But then let's wait a minute and see if it's going to take time. If it's not going to take time, we'll just wait. If it takes time, I'm going to end the video here. But I hope you've learned one or two from this whole thing. So it's processing step 20 of 69. 32, 33, 36, 37, 30, 40 of, so it's quite fast. But then let's 56. Well, then we are done. So it's writing all the future and executing clip. You see, these are the barrel processes following, and the future are quite plenty. So I'm just gonna wait out for it to finish and then I'll come back. Like I've said before, it will take time, but at the moment there is no light and my battery is currently going low. So to avoid me losing all of the video I've put through, I will end it, and then once you've run it like the way I did, just wait for it, it will do. So I will see you in the next video, and keep supporting us, keep loving us, and thank you for 3,000 subscribers. Thank you for 210,000 views. Thank you for all the likes, the comment. Thank you for all the support you've been showing to us. We appreciate. God bless you. Bye. Hello and welcome to LI Geospatial. And from July 1st to now, we've been working on the ArcGIS Pro. So we've been moving from one aspect of the software to the other. Today we'll be running up on the digitizing. I've decided to split the digitizing into the categories. We've done building, we've done road, we've done rivers, and then today we'll be running up with points. That's to say, I've demonstrated polygon, lines, and point. So today we'll be using the point feature to digitize the same area. So we'll be doing location. Now we have Fura here as a location in Abuja, and we have Jabi, we have if we go down small, you see, as I said earlier, we are using the ArcGIS Pro imagery, not the one that we import. We didn't bring in import any data here, so we're only using the one that it's already there. So you have to be connected to internet also. All right, so to digitize, you go to edit, and then you have your future class created. So I have my future class created here. So I'm going to edit. All right, so you go to edit, and then you go to create future tool. Also, you bring in map topology so that it can maintain all the topological rules. So and then let me quickly change the symbol. Let me change it to something. Okay, let's use this square here. So now all you need to do here, once I create on the create future, I'm going to click on the hospital once the create future comes out. Okay, so I'll click on it, and then it's telling me it's point. Yeah, so all I need to do is to come where I want and then click on it. So I'm going to click on Durumi. I'm going to click on the Shikoro. I'm going to click on Jukoi, and then I'm going to click on Abuja Municipal. Let's say this is Abuja Municipal, and then we have areas like Kaladimawa, Gidan, Lake One, all the small areas within the place. We have Sherete, we have Ashata, Kwaye, Bubei. So as easy as that. So you just go on, and then we have Tugang Ali, Rubuchi, Gwari, Basa, So you can see how fast I'm going. And we have Suleja, which is already another local government in another state. Okay, so all right, so basically this is how you digitize points. You just zoom to that portion you want, and then you click on the future. That's all. So that's for this video. You stay tuned for the next video, which will be editing attributes using ArcGIS Pro. Digitizing the building, we are going to be using the other tool, which is the rectangle tool. So once we click on the building, we are going to make a selection. We're going to use rectangle. All right, so I'm going to zoom into a different layout, still in the capital city of Nigeria. All right, so I'm going to zoom in to have a clarity in the image. So with the rectangle selected, all I need to do is click one and click the second point. It's going to generate everything for it. So I drag. So if I click one, I release, click the second one, then I drag, then when I reach where I want, I now release it. But then on the polygon, you realize that you have to select all the 4 points. So we have this building here, an extension of the main building. So I'll still do the selection and put it in. So from what we did the last time, we're still going to apply that here. Click on select, then highlight them, and then you click merge. So it's going to bring out this, so you say merge. All right, so we go back to our create future tool and we select the rectangle tool again. So let's say we just want to consider the rectangle part of each of these buildings. You will realize that we're going to be very fast. Within the shortest period of time, we will do a whole lot of digitizing. So I urge you, because of some of the complexity of the buildings, I prefer rectangle tool because it gives me the sense of speed I want to have while digitizing. So this is how you can digitize using the rectangle tool. And then most of the complicated building you can find with different shapes, you can easily use the rectangle tool to do that, like this one here. So this, all I need to do is to click one, click two, and follow the path and click. Select here and click. Do the same here and click, and follow this path and click. There's a kind of another one here, so I'm going to do that and click. So by the time I click the select button and highlight all of them and merge, to bring out the way the building was when we see it on the ground. Example like this ones as well. Let's go back to the create future tool and the rectangle. So look at this building. You can see that there are about 3 blocks with some detachment. So let me quickly run through that. Let me run the 3 blocks first. Alright, so we have a detachment here. So we select from here and then we do this. So there's another detachment I'm seeing from here. Now we'll just do this and put it in. Then we have the last one here. Then now imagine you are to use the rectangle tool to achieve this. You can still achieve it, but it's going to take your time and it will take a lot from you. So I've merged it, and then you can see that it has come out. Same thing with a building like this. A building like this, you can see as the complicacy of the shapes. So this rectangle tool can save you a whole lot of time. So once you are satisfied with your digitizing, from there all you need to do is to save your work, and it's asking you whether you want to save all changes. Yes, we want to save all changes. So now we've saved it, and then we are good to go. So it's not like on the ArcGIS desktop that you have to start editor like that. Once you come on edit and you click on create future, you're good to go. So you can continue digitizing. So we're going to look at digitizing roads and their different types, and then also look at hospital and different futures. So this is the second video on digitizing. I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to Electrospatial. We have been exploring our way in ArcGIS Pro. So the last video we looked at how to georeference. So this video we're going to be creating a future class, and we're going to digitize building. Alright, so coming to your Arc catalog, we already have a folder we've been working on, which is under this Elite and then the Abuja. Then we have our AMAC. We have our geodatabase. So under the facilities, we're going to create this future class under it. So right click on it and you come to new and future class. So the future class name will be building. Alright, so the future class name will be building, and it's a polygon, and then we go to next, next, next. So we're not going to be naming it because this is not more like we're going to know who owns the building and all that. So we'll just do digitizing. So it's created. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to our edit, and then we'll make sure that our snapping is on, and then we're going to click on the create future. Now the building is showing. So I'm going to zoom without bringing any more image from anywhere. So I'm just going to zoom with from our, we already have a base map on the ground, but all you need is to have internet anyway. So I'm going to choose, we have the polygon, we have the auto complete polygon, and then we have the right angle, we have the cycle, and then we have the rectangle. So this tutorial we're going to use the polygon, and the next video we're going to use the rectangle. So on the polygon, you're going to make a selection 1, 2, 3, 4, and you double click. All right, so let's add the roof of these buildings are in a circular form, but that's not what we are considering now. So we just convert them to this. Just make sure that you are doing it rightly. So just follow me. So this is basically how you will digitize. Now this have enabled us not to bring in any satellite imagery. You could just switch between your you just switch within your uh, base maps, and then you get what you want. So let's use this cycle to digitize this, because each of these tools has a purpose. That's why you see they are being like this. So you see that as I click and I release, so it's created the cycle. But then there is a problem. It has other rectangular buildings here, which we're still using the polygon tool. And then so we're going to put it inside. So we also have another one here, and put it inside. There are other small ones around the building which you have to follow if you want the shape of the building to come out. So which means we're doing it. So delete it. So let's say we're following all of this. Now without any trying to finish up this, let's just select, and we'll be merging them so that it don't have because if you see now, you see that there are lines, so we need to match them together. So once you click on select, you click modify, then you go down to, okay, you highlight all of them. Now they are all highlighted, so you go down to this merge tool here. You also have it up here, so you could use this one or use this. So it's going to merge all of them together. Yes, so it's telling you, do you want us to merge all of this? Say merge. So it has merged all of them. So though we still have other few ones around here that will have picked, but because of the time consciousness. So but then you can continue digitizing, but then make sure you follow all of the procedure. Now we have the national mocks here. This is a complicated building, so you need to follow all the steps. Now let's try and use the same polygon to digitize this. Now it's because of the resolution of this image, you could virtually see all that you want. So you need to make sure you have a good image. Thanks to a Siri, this ArcGIS Pro is helping so much. And then so let me make this a hollow so that we can see every other thing we want to do. So we still have cycles inside. So we're oh, going to select cycle. Then we select this. Do the same thing with this circles all here. So then we have another landscape here, but then basically this explains that yeah, we've done justice to this. But then there's still one thing that is missing. If the we release the symbol, you will realize that we only see one, which is the last one, but we need to see everything. So to do that, we still have to merge them. So you click select and you click modify and you select all of them together and then you click merge to merge all of them. Oh, it's not going to work this time around. So once all of this is done, the thing is you cannot right now put the symbology because it's not really going to bring out this layer. So I think for now you have to leave it like this until we can find solution to it. So this is the little I can bring to you on the polygon. So I'll see you on the next one where we'll work on the rectangular tool and I will give you my recommendation which one I feel is faster and which one is better for me. So see you in the next video. Hello and welcome to Elite Geospatial, and today we'll be launching into a brand new software. I'm going to be going on to the ArcGIS Pro. So if you notice, for the past 7 years I have been only on ArcGIS, so it's time to evolve. So we'll be looking at the ArcGIS Pro. So we're beginning from the introduction, looking at the interface. We'll be looking at how the ArcGIS Pro is and what makes it more better than the ArcGIS desktop. All right, so ride with me on this journey. So it's gonna be a bit longer video, so you will have to keep up anyway. So the Pro version is much different from the desktop in the sense that in the desktop we have plenty software been given. We have the ArcMap, we have the ArcScene as a separate entity, we have the Arc Catalog, and then we have the um, ArcGlobe. All right, so they are basically in a different package on the ArcGIS desktop. Now it's a bit of not the same on ArcGIS Pro. They have integrated all of them into one. So here we have, this is more like our arc map. This is our arc catalog. This is our 3D scene. That's our arc scenes. And then this serves as our arc globe. Anyway, so if you open here, it means you're going to arc map. If you open here, you're going to arc catalog. That means, I know the purpose of arc catalog is that it helps you manage your data effectively, and then the accents project your 3D view of the earth, right? So then you can also choose to start without a template. So it's everything has been integrated into one. So we'll be starting with ArcMap. So when you double click, you click once on it, it's going to ask you for what's the project name, the project you're going to work on, what's the name. So let's say Airlight. All right, so it's asking you location. By default, ArcGIS is on desktop. So the ArcGIS Pro or ArcGIS Map, they have the same. So they are all on your document. So, but I am more like the organized type. So I have all my work. It's a folder on my storage drive called work. Okay, so I'll go to this PC and then go to my storage device and then locate work. So I'll set save futures. All right. So like the base map and the rest, you'll be able to access them if there is no internet. So you can see that it's opening a new map. All right. So it will take a couple of time. Okay, so it has opened, and then you can see that all the continents of the world is represented in the map. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to go through the basics. Now, I will say if you are conversant with ArcGIS desktop, you just need to take few time and then you will master ArcGIS Pro. It is almost the same thing, just that there are a little bit of tweak and some, just trying to be them anyway. So um, let's start from the map. All right, under the map, on desktop, you'll see that these are more like the toolbar. So we have a variety of tools here. We have the map, we have the insight, we have the analysis, the view, the edit, the imagery, and then the share button. Not really a button, but it has tools under it. So we're going to take it a quick from the map. So here we have the explore tool. If you click on any from the Arc desktop, ArcGIS desktop, you know that they have provided a portion where anytime you click on a tool, it tells you one or two things about the tools. All right, so explore tool, and then when you see a deep down arrow, it means there are other things there. All right, so there are other tools there. So that's what most of this means. So we have the previous extent, that is, I'm working on something and I wanted to go back to the previous extent. We have the next extent. Then we have the fixed zoom, which we already know, but this time around it's a fixed zoom out and a fixed zoom in. All right. So we also have the full extent. These are all available on the desktop. Okay. So then we have the zoom to selection, that is, it zooms only to selected part of the whole thing. Then we have the bookmark, which is also available on Arc Desktop. So zoom to create, manage bookmark for map within a project. Okay, so it's so whenever you click on it, it shows you. So we have the go to X, Y. So let's say it's going to bring out about. So let's say I have a coordinate, just one coordinate I want to plot it. Normally in AutoCAD, you remember that when you once coordinate it goes and then dropping the point. Let's say I'm just going to use one. So let's say I have 7.22 on the longitude and 9.34. Then I press enter. So you see that it's located in Nigeria, and then I think, if I am not mistaken, inside Nigeria it's around Wukari, between Benue and Taraba State. It's around somewhere there, if I'm not mistaken. So let's check between Benue State and Taraba. We might see it. I think so. So let me allow this to show us where it is. So, oh, this time around it's saying it's in Abuja. All right. So it said it's in Abuja. So that's how you can use the XY locate tools. Okay, the next we have, I have to be a bit faster anyway. So the next we have is the base map. So if you click on the base map, the drop down, you'll see all the base maps that are available. Okay, we have the imagery. So it displays the imagery. We have the street maps, we have the topography, we have the terrain, labels. We have quite a lot of them. We have the firefly imagery hybrid. We have open streets. And then we have enhanced contrast dark. We have enhanced. All of this you can open any of them, and then let's say we open the image you have, right? It's gonna open. It's going to be added, so you will see it. Yeah, so now another important thing I want is, if I just want to digitize some point, I think I don't really need to bring another extra image. I could just start digitizing. I think so. Anyway, I'm still exploring myself. So I believe, because why, if I have a base map already, why do I need to bring another one? That's just my thought anyway. Yeah. So you could open as many as possible. Want to open street? Let's open the street maps. Uh, right. So you could see the street maps that's open in Nigeria. Once you let's I am in Zaria, so let's zoom to where I am. All right, so okay, let me take a look. This is Sokoto Road where I am at the moment. Okay, this is a railway hospital around PZ. Okay, so um, so this is basically, you could see the buildings digitized there and all that. So basically, this is what those basements can do. So I'm not going to go further in that explanation. Then we have the art data, as we know from the ArcGIS desktop. We have the art data too, and you could see pretty lot of this. Now here under the art data, in GIS desktop, you'll find out that once you go to file, but here I'm not saying file anyway. Once you go to file, you'll find add data at XY point, ax root, event, and all that. Here it's all, they've put everything under the add data. So under the add data, we have the normal add data. You also add any data to ArcGIS, ArcMap as possible. I also know that you can drag and drop, and it's going to pick up. Then we add from path, as you're adding from either a local path, maybe like people using local area network, and then those using wide area network anyway. Then you can add from a web. So, and then you go add the XY data, you can add the route event, you can add the query layer, and as many as possible. All right, so that's for that. Then also the add graphic layer, you could add graphics. Okay, so you see I've added two graphics anyway. And then we have the select tool. Now on the ArcGIS, we have the selection tool. And this one, once I select, let's say I have anything to select, I could select it. Then we also have select polygon, select lasso. You've introduced quite a lot of tools here, the trace, the lines, and everything. And then we have the select by attributes, this for query. Okay, so once you want to do a query, you select by attribute. And as we are going on this course, we will have a time to explore and explain all of this in details. Okay, all right. Then we have select by location. They are all selections under selection tools. Then we have the attributes when you want to. So no problem. We are moving on. And then we have the zoom, we have the clear, clear the selections. We have the measure tools, which is also available on the ArcGIS desktop, but those ones were not distinguished like this, and I am being amazed by what I'm seeing here. So we have the measure distance, we have the measure area, measure the distance, measure the area. Okay, let's say we want to, let me see if there's any river. Okay, let's say we want to measure the area of this river here. So let's see. I'm only going to pick part. All right, so I'm not going to pick all of it. The part I pick, uh, so it's telling us the area. It's showing us the area of the portion uh, I have selected. Okay, so the perimeter is shown down here. It's just showing the segment in kilometer, the area, and all that, the sum in square kilometer. So basically, these are how you could use these tools. And then you see that I didn't bring any extra imagery, but it's not possible. My Baba ArcGIS desktop will only show you a plain map. You have to bring an image. You must georeference. Anyway, we're still going to georeference. We're going to still digitize, but it's quite easier here. You can see, I think you could bear me witness that this is quite easier here. You don't really need to bring any image. So you can see that you can actually do any country of the world at the pick and balcony of you being on ArcGIS Pro and with your internet. So when we have the locate, I can locate anything, can search, and then I can layer start a search. That is within the layers I have, I can search out anything within the shortest distance. Right. So we have the infographics, and then we have the coordinate conversion. Now you convert coordinate notation from one notation to another format. Right. So they are quite a lot, but then we will not be able to explain all of these one by one. But as we go, we'll keep doing that. So if this is a coordinate, I can actually convert it to another coordinate. I think, but well, we explore it together, I told you. So I'm also entering here new. So we are learning, we're teaching ourselves. So let's clear it. And then we have the download map. Yeah, we have, you can actually download. Anyway, I have not explored this feature, but when I do, you will be the first to know. All right, so then moving on, we have the insert tools. Okay, the insert tools, we have art folder like normal art connections on ArcGIS desktop. Then you see that this is also a connection, and then you could see what's available here. See the database, and then you see file geodatabase, see database. But then I think what is not found here is the personal geodatabase. Maybe they lost it back in that side. It didn't follow us here. Then the new map, where you can also add a new map. Like from here, you could change. You go to new base map. We have the new stereo map. We have the arc globe, and then we have that's. I'm just trying to use the previous name. Then we have the art sense, and then we have the arc map, right? So under the new map, and then the new layout where you bring in different layouts for your production, you know. So what I'm also not seeing here is I'm not seeing data view and layout view. So which means this is this would be my data view and this would be my layout view from indication anyway. So and then what else was there? I think that's what I can explain here. Then we'll go to analysis. Under analysis, we have our toolbox. Our toolbox are here. We have our model builder. You remember there's model builder under the geoprocessing tools. So this is our geoprocessing tools in here. So we have the model builder, and we have our buffer, we have our summarize within our special join, and then all of that. We have our suitability modeler. These are new. We have the network analysis. We have the geostatistical wizard. We have the business analysis and data interpol. Oh, I don't know. All right, we have the raster function and the function editor. So all of this, we'll explore them together. And then here is, as I said, you see, with all of these two, we have our geoprocessing down here. So these are the project option where you set these are geoprocessing. These are like most of the, we have the model builder. These are the tools within this place. You can see as they are all available here, you can see them down here. All right, so we go to view. Under the view, we have the geoprocessing tool here itself. We have convert, that's you're converting from ArcMap to ArcSen, from Arc, any of them. All right, so and then we have the catalog pan, we have catalog view, we have the content, which is this is our content, and our catalog as usual used to come out here. So
If I click on catalog view, sorry, it's this is our catalog view. So it came out here. So and then let's remove it anyway. And then I just want to make you understand that they are virtually the same thing as from the ArcGIS desktop. So I'm seeing something that I've not seen here before, aviation, I'm seeing indoors. We'll explore this together as the time goes by. And then we have the edit. This is where our editor is. Now, after you've created your future class, your shapefiles, you'll use this to create future. That you remember the create future tools, the one we use in digitizing in GIS desktop. It's the same here. Then the modify is more like that editor where you click that select and you do some other. And so this is it. And then we have the select where you select, let's say there isn't rectangle, polygon, or any of them. It's still the same thing. We have the annotation, we have the move tool and all that. Then the topology, you can see copy, cut, copy path, all of those things. It's just the way they partition them here, but it's still the same thing and it does the same function. Then we have the snap where you put the snapping rules. If I click on turn on snap, you know what it means from the previous, that's from the ArcGIS desktop. It's the same here. And then we have the imagery, which we have the change dictation for remote sensing. You know what change dictation is now. We have the classification wizard and okay. But this whole stuff will not, I don't think it's going to work for when you want to do a remote sensing. You can use it for that analysis anyway. So and then let's see what's on the share. Oh wow. We have the new map project package. We have the map product package. You remember we have the how you can turn your map to your data into a map package. Here they've done everything for you. And then we have the new mobile map package. So all of these have been added and more. So we also have the new layer package. Now we have the deep learning package where all your deep learning models are converted into a portable file for easy sharing. So it's more like you see all of this when you want to share all of these data, as you want to like I've done a work for more than maybe 50 gig, 30 gig, 20 gig, 2 gig. You can sharing those files are kind of very heavy. Now with a map package, you could have maybe 10 MB, 20 MB with all of that in it. So when you send it to a client or your superior in office, they can open it and have everything you have uh, been working on that is that large. So these are very important in this software. So we have the project template, the same thing. It's all about all sharing. And this is where you're going to export your map, you're going to print your map, you're going to do everything. It's under the sharing. All right. So we have the graphics, which we already see from that side. Yeah, we have this is where you do all the writings, like more like your your data layout in ArcGIS desktop. So I think this will be able to explain, the rotate and flip, the merge, all of them are the same. It's just a matter of an improvement and all that. So last but not the least, we have something up here which we didn't touch. And we have this is more like you open a new document, new map document. Then where this is you're importing your map document and then you're saving your work, normal savings. Then this is undo and this is redo. Okay.